Pretty much anybody else would be calling this a what's in the bag. I hate that phrase. So I'll talk to you in this video about set composition. I believe this is something that can make a huge difference to your game. We've all heard of how good custom fit can be, but having the right clubs in your bag that complement your game and make your game easier for you, I mean, that's what we're about at the end of the day. It's all about having the right tool, isn't it? It's showing you guys a little bit more around this limited clubs idea and concept that I've talked about in some of my other videos. So yeah, I'll show you what we've got. So here's just a little thought to get us started. We only carry one putter with us. We don't carry a different putter for long putts, medium putts, short putts. We just carry one putter. And we make it work for us by hitting it harder or hitting it softer, and it's our touch and feel that actually adds the distance. Okay, admittedly, yes, we do need different lofts on the clubs, but do we really need 14? So let's start with my two most lofted clubs, a 54 and a 46 degree. It's a thicker sole, often referred to as the bounce, that makes this a sand wedge. It allows it to glide through soft surfaces like sand and thick rough, but if you need more loft, you can add it. This is my 6-iron. And trust me, if you can get out of a bunker with a 6-iron quite easily, when you give yourself a 54 degree wedge, that wedge looks like a hell of a lot of loft in your hand compared to 30 degrees I've got here. So how did I learn how to hit a shot like that? Well, I had to go with it. I made going into bunkers, I made it as hard as I possibly could. By doing that, it means that you learn really quickly. That's exactly what this limited club idea concept does. It accelerates your learning by forcing you to hit shots rather than thinking about playing swings, and improves your touch and feel. When you're here next to the green and the edge of the green, you don't want loads of loft. I mean, if I was to stand here now and throw this ball at the hole, there is no way I'm going to think about throwing it really high and trying to land it soft next to the hole. All I want to do is get that thing rolling out. The more loft you use, the more speed you actually need to generate through the ball, and that can be quite tricky to do and commit to do when you've got a short shot. So that's why I use my 46 degree for all of my chips. So my irons, I'm only carrying one short iron, one mid iron, and one something longer. So this is my mid iron in my bag now I've got here. It just allows me now at shots like this where I don't want to hit my short iron, it's not going to be long enough. I don't want to hit my long iron, I could be too long. It's the Goldilocks and the Three Bears all over again. Now, you could be worrying and thinking to yourself, well, doesn't this give you lots of gappages between your irons? But the problem with this, we're not good enough ball strikers to actually make 4 degrees of loft difference actually matter. So what I've got here is 8 degrees loft difference between my wedge, my short iron, my mid iron, and my longer club. Now that, admittedly, yeah, I've got what you might think of big gaps, but actually it doesn't. It now gives me a definite reason to play this club, not that one and not the other one. It means I have better commitment to this shot because I know I don't have any other option. So this club here probably won't make the green, but do you know what? The miss here is short, so that's all I want. Okay, so I have made the green because I absolutely flushed that, only because that swing that I just put onto that shot, it was so confident, so relaxed. I wasn't trying to thump it there. It was a case of I'd already made my decision up that short was being better than being long, so I just put a relaxed swing on it. But because I did that, I got a better connection. That better connection is developed into a better shot. Isn't that what we want? Trying to figure out or knowing our yardages with our clubs, that we're standing there just working on absolutely what happens when we pure it. You might think, you know, I'm working to my averages, but your averages on a day when it didn't matter, when there was no consequences, you were warmed up and relaxed on a driving range. That's not the same as me being out here on a golf course. Yes, you could say, well, that's how far my club goes. But if you're playing to that yardage, you're putting too much pressure on yourself. I was quite happy if I'd have landed 20 foot short of the green. That would have been a simple chip on. And yet I'm pretty much pin eye middle of the green because I absolutely flushed it. But I wasn't playing for what I wanted to happen. I was playing for what I thought might happen. And it's learning how to do that. That's what the better players or the higher skill players do. We're not playing for shots that we hope happen. That wasn't a hope. I was playing for just short of where I'm standing right now, and I could have just chipped on. But now I've got a birdie putt across the green because I made a good connection with the ball. I don't have to deliberate between 3 different clubs because it's probably going to be just one of those options, and then it depends on how effectively how hard I want to hit it, really. And let's face it, if the harder you try and hit something, the least control you're going to have over it. So this is exactly the kind of tee shot that I used to fear. I'd be standing here putting a tee in the ground with my driver in my hand thinking, you know what, I've got absolutely no chance of finding this ball ever again. So how do we ever think that we're going to create a good smooth swing when that's what we're telling our brain? We're going to lose it. So that's why I've got this in my bag. So this is a 24-degree driving iron. Now, for you, depending on how you visualize the tool, you might be better off sticking a hybrid in the bag at this point. But this is my longest club before I go up into the woods. But to me, because this is a tool at the end of the day, I've described in other videos, to me, when I put this behind the ball, this makes more sense, don't ask me why, than a hybrid does. I've never really got on that well with hybrids. So I used to carry a 25-degree hybrid, which I cranked down to 24 degrees, so same loft as this. But it said 5 at the bottom of it, and it'd be one of those clubs that probably golfers of my age and level would probably turn their noses up. But actually, for the lofts of clubs in my bag, it was the next club that needed to go in. So as you're hearing, I'm referring to my clubs in lofts, because the loft is the only thing that's absolute and true. The number at the bottom means nothing these days anymore, because manufacturers are just jacking lofts to try and say the clubs go further. It's the loft that matters. So when you're looking for a hybrid, make sure it does blend into your set. And don't look at the number at the bottom, just look at the loft of it. But for me, when I put this behind the ball, it breeds confidence, and that's what this is about. I know that I'm going to find this ball. I know, I feel good about this tee shot now. I'm looking forward to this tee shot. No, it's not going to get me all the way down there, but you know what? It's going to put me in play, and then that gives me options. Well, hang on a minute. What about strokes gained? It's all about getting down there as far as you possibly can. I'm going to do a little bit of my version of what I interpret that to mean and how we can use it, because I don't think it's necessarily going to help you or I if I start trying to hit it as far as I possibly can. Well, that's what you're trying to do already, and it's, let's face it, you're not getting any better at it, are you? Yes, I've got a longer way into the green, but I don't have to hit the green to have a shot at the hole. Element, should we say, in the technology of golf clubs is probably in this department, this area of the bag, because, and I'm not talking driver here, I'm talking between driver and your longest iron. Now, you could have hybrids that go all the way down to really low lofts that you could use in this department. You could have crossovers, driving irons with graphite shafts. There's got to be something in this area of the bag that you should definitely have a look at and try a few things out and see what gives you confidence. When you look down at it, does it make you want to hit it? Does it make you feel like you can find a fairway with it? Because that is more important than distance. I carry an 18-degree fairway wood, but when I tested out traditional kind of 15-degree fairway woods with the extra length in the shaft, I wasn't any longer, but I was definitely less accurate. Now there is another element to why I also carry this 18-degree fairway wood, because my bag is built around confidence, and I was trying to get my clubs up to a point where it was the least lofted club I felt confident hitting from the floor. and then I was going to put in something longer that I would use as my tee shot club. But this club here, I also am comfortable hitting this off the deck. Because of the added loft, because of the bigger sole, it makes sense to me when I look down at it, and I feel confident and confident to have a go with it. So it gives me a new weapon in that sometimes off the tee, I could actually play it shorter to keep myself in play and then go longer into the green, which sounds a bit backwards, but it is a weapon that I've used more and more often when I'm looking at a tee shot. If I look at a tee shot and it makes no sense to me, and if it looks really dangerous, and I start to get the old sixth sense starts to prickle up, I'll just go down the club until I can find a nice fat part of the green fairway, and then I'll try and get it up near the green somewhere with either this or my driving 4-iron. So those are the clubs I really carry that give me the confidence to play around with. I pretty much really only use 7 clubs, but I do have one more that, if I'm honest, it's just for show. So yeah, everyone wants to hit driver, everyone wants to hit the big stick. So I've been playing around. I may have had 8 different drivers over the last few years in an attempt to try and find something that I want to hit and gives me some confidence in it. I've chosen 2017 TaylorMade M1 460 version for this club in particular because it has changeable weights in it. Now the thing with golf clubs is they've got lighter and lighter and longer, because the lighter it is and the longer it is, the faster club head speed you can get. Fantastic recipe for club head speed. Absolutely useless for accuracy and genuinely functionality. So actually, if you listen to some of the pros of what they play with, they all shorten their shafts quite dramatically and all added weight to the heads of their club, which is exactly what I've done with this. This is a 43.5-inch shaft, which is pretty much a 3-wood shaft, but it's also, I've added weight to the bottom of it, because this club in particular, you can change the weights anywhere you want. Those are about, I don't know, 8 grams or so. That one in the back's 21. Bought that off of eBay, stuck it in the club. I've now effectively made a club hammer. Think if you had a really long hammer with a really long handle and a tiny little head, you could generate a lot of club head speed, whereas your accuracy probably wouldn't be very good. Whereas if you had a really short hammer with a big heavy head on it, like a club hammer, you wouldn't have to generate as much club head speed.